Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, day 2.
Yes, day 2.
Please light this some mash.
Yeshua said, I am the light of the world.
Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified our lives through his commandments and has allowed us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who performed miracles for our ancestors in those days, in this season. Please light the other 2 candles.
Okay, I'll take the samash and light the other 2 candles. Those who follow Yeshua shall not walk in darkness. Hallelujah, the candles are lit.
We kindle these lights to commemorate the miracles, wonders, triumphs, and victories which you performed through your holy priests for our ancestors in those days, in this season. These lights are sacred for all 8 days of Hanukkah. It is forbidden to make any use of them except to look at them in order to praise your great name for your miracles, wonders, and triumphs.
And now I will read Numbers 7, 18 through 23. On the 2nd day, Nathaniel, the son of Tazur, leader of Issachar, presented his offering. He offered 1 silver dish weighing 130 shekels and 1 silver basin of 70 shekels, both full of fine flour mixed with olive oil for a grain offering, 1 gold pan of 10 shekels, full of incense, 1 young bull, 1 ram, 1 male lamb in its first year as a burnt offering, 1 male goat as a sin offering, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 male lambs in the first year. This was the offering of Nathaniel, the son of Tazur.
Isaiah 5:20 through 24. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who change darkness into light and light into darkness, who change bitter into sweet and sweet into bitter. Woe to those seeing themselves as wise, esteeming themselves as clever. Woe to those who are heroes at drinking wine, men whose power goes to mixing strong drinks, who acquit the guilty for bribes but deny justice for the righteous. Therefore, as fire licks up the stubble and the chaff is consumed in the flame, so the root will rot and the flowers scatter like dust, because they have rejected the Torah of Adonai Sabaoth. They have despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
Psalm 113. Hallelujah, servants of Adonai, give praise. Give praise to the name of Adonai. Blessed be the name of Adonai from this moment on and forever. From sunrise until sunset, Adonai's name is to be praised. Adonai is high above all nations, his glory above the heavens. Who is like Adonai our God, seated in the heights, humbling himself to look on heaven and on earth? He raises the poor from the dust, lifts the needy from the rubbish heap, in order to give him a place among princes, among the princes of his people. He causes the childless woman to live at home happily as the mother of children. Hallelujah.
Luke 1, 5 through 25, and 57 through 79. In the days of Herod, king of Judah, there was a Cohen named Zachariah, who belonged to the Abiah division. His wife was a descendant of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. Both of them were righteous before God, observing all the mitzvahs and ordinances of Adonai blameless. But they had no children, because Elizabeth was barren and they were both well along in years. One time when Zechariah was fulfilling his duties as Cohen during his division's period of service before God, he was chosen by lot, according to the custom among the Cohen, to enter the temple and burn incense. All the people were outside praying at the time of incense burning, when there appeared to him an angel of Adonai standing to the right of the incense altar. Zechariah was startled and terrified at the sight, but the angel said to him, "Don't be afraid, Zechariah, because your prayer has been heard. Your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you are to name him John. He will be a joy and a delight to you, and many people will rejoice when he is born, for he will be great in the sight of Adonai. He is never to drink wine or other liquor, and he will be filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, even from his mother's womb. He will turn away many of the people of Israel to Adonai their God. He will turn many of the people of Israel to Adonai their God. He will go out ahead of Adonai in the spirit and power of Elijah, to turn the hearts of fathers to their children, and the disobedient to the wisdom of righteousness, to make ready for Adonai a people prepared." Zechariah said to the angel, "How can I be sure of this? For I am an old man. My wife, too, is well on in years." "I am Gabriel," the angel answered him, "and I stand in the presence of God. I was sent to speak to you, to give you this good news. Now, because you didn't believe what I said, which will be fulfilled when the time comes, you will be silent, unable to speak until the day these things take place." Meanwhile, the people were waiting for Zechariah. They were surprised at his taking so long in the temple. But when he came out unable to talk to them, they realized that he had seen a vision in the temple.
Where's that stinky? You gotta go outside?
He communicated with them with signs. When his period of his temple service was over, he returned home. Following this, Elizabeth, his wife, conceived, and she remained 5 months in seclusion, saying, "Adonai has done this for me. He has shown me favor at this time, so as to remove my public disgrace." The time arrived for Elizabeth to have her baby, and she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard how good Adonai had been to her, and they rejoiced with her. On the 8th day they came to do the child's brit milah. They were about to name him Zechariah after his father, when his mother spoke up and said, "No, he is to be called John." They said to her, "None of your relatives has that name." And they made signs to his father to find out what he wanted him called. He motioned for a writing tablet, and to everyone's surprise, he wrote, "His name is John." At that moment, his power of speech returned, and his first words were a blessing to God. All their neighbors were awestruck, and throughout the hill country of Judah, people talked about all these things. Everyone who heard of them said to himself, "What is this child going to be?" For clearly, the hand of Adonai was with him. His father Zechariah was filled with the Ruach HaKodesh and spoke this prophecy. "Praise be Adonai, the God of Israel, because he has visited and made a ransom to liberate his people by raising up for us a mighty deliverer, who is descendant of his servant David. It is just as he has spoken to the mouth of the prophets from the very beginning, that we should be delivered from our enemies and from the power of all who hate us. This has happened so that he might show the mercy he promised to our fathers, that he would remember his holy covenant the oath he swore before Abraham, to grant us that we, freed from our enemies, would serve him without fear, in holiness and righteousness before him all our days. You, child, will be called a prophet of the Most High. You will go before the Lord and prepare his way by spreading the knowledge among his people that deliverance comes by having sins forgiven through our God's most tender mercy, which causes the sunrise to visit us from heaven, to shine upon those in darkness living in the shadow of death, and to guide our feet to the paths of peace. The child grew and became strong in spirit, and he lived in the wilderness until the time came for him to appear in public to Israel. Sing praises to God. Pray together.
Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party with all that's HORAH. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and LATKAS to eat. While we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night finishing as we fly through the night. So things wanna go.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, darling.